All right. A couple of years down the road, you roll out of bed 6 a.m. on the dot. And I mean, from the time you're like your feet touch the ground by your bed and like you're standing up, it's 6 o'clock in 1 second.
Man, so I like
Quick on the draw that morning.
I'm just immediately awake and on my feet.
Yep. You
Wow.
actually normally what you wear, you actually normally wear those like old like Victorian pajamas with like the where it's like you're covered from like head to toe. You know what I mean? And
No.
there's like a butt flap. That's what you normally wear, but not this morning, my friend. You were so excited to wake up in the morning that you actually are wearing like your clothes for the day. That is how excited you are that morning. And you are, dude. You wake up that morning and it feels like there's like a million bolts of electricity coursing down that perfectly straight spine of yours. You're wearing uh underneath it you're wearing white boxers with red hearts on them. But you're also wearing like uh jeans
Oh, I
and
sleep in jeans?
yeah.
Oh, it's the worst. I'm not a child anymore.
Yeah, you thought that last night when you went to sleep, but you were like, but you actually say out loud before you went to sleep, you go, you know, I'm not a child anymore, but tonight I can pretend. And then you zipped up those fucking jeans.
Were they unzipped in the first? Why am I unzipping my jeans?
No, they were like they were you were putting them on before you went to sleep. So like the
Oh,
your fly was open.
man, why? Okay.
And so and you're wearing
I'm
a
just taking them off.
yeah, you're wearing a shirt that says I fat red. It's supposed to say I farted, but like you messed it up.
Yeah.
And you bound downstairs, ready to go. There is an fucking Uber waiting for you. You jump in the back. The driver makes no attempt to help you with your bag or anything like that. You jump in. He
Great.
kind of just like nods at you, and you're like, "Hello." And then you look down at your phone and you go, "Hello, El Brandy." And you say, and like you're so excited that even though you know this guy doesn't want to talk to you, you say to him, "I'm going to a comedy festival."
I don't. I'm,
El Brandy, like if he hears you, he doesn't reply.
yeah.
So you drive to the Los Angeles airport, and he's in like the you kind of pull up into the departures, and you tell him like, "Oh, United," and he like when you and like he again doesn't really reply. But as he's driving, he's in like the far left lane. It's like a 6 lane one way thing, and he's in like the far left lane. And when you say United, he just turns right instantly. He cuts off all 5 lanes. He
Jesus
like
Christ, El Brandy.
he pulls up like over the curb and like kind of bottoms out, and he's like, "Fuck!" Like his like front two wheels are like up over the curb.
Oh, Jesus.
You get out of there very very quickly.
El
So
Brandy.
so you are going to a comedy festival, and the reason that you are so excited about this is that you are like one of the featured headlining comedians. It's first
What?
time. Yeah, it's the first time that you've headlined a comedy festival.
Man, why are they headlining me?
So you kind of went viral.
Oh no, I'm going viral. God damn it, Pat.
So what you've been doing for the past like 6 months is getting you're really focusing on your physique,
Yeah.
specifically your ass. You got to get those glutes a popping, you think to yourself.
Ugh.
At the beginning of the year you were like, I this year is the year that I focus on, you know, my buns.
Two glutes are popping.
And when you go back and watch your like working out videos to study your form, every
Oh, I'm
time you
that deep into it.
every time you dip down low, you think that song to yourself. You go, two glutes up popping.
One set of golden buns.
So you have been really working on that ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
To
doing
the
like a lot of squats, a lot of
you're doing a lot of squats, you're doing a lot of butt thrusts. You're doing
yeah.
there's a lot of new like workouts for butts in the this is a few years down the road. So you're doing a
I feel like butts
couple
are in right now.
butts are in, but they're just coming up with new techniques to work
Okay.
on it. Tech the
All
cutting
right.
and you are on the cutting edge of butt fitness.
Yeah. I'm on the cutting edge of butt fitness.
Yeah, dude. And like you're starting to get noticed a little bit. Like you've had like notable Twitter interactions with some of, some of the most sculpted buns this side of the Mississippi. Like you're starting to get, this guy Kurt Dragons.
Plural.
Yeah. Kurt Dragons is a guy who he kind of revolutionized the butt fitness scene back in the day. So he's not seen as he's no longer a dominant force on the scene, but he is a respected and revered expert. And so he's now his thing is he's a teacher, So he like follows you on Twitter and stuff, and like you're so excited the day that he follows you. You actually like run up and down your stairs like in Home Alone, and you go like you're just going nutty.
Yeah.
You run outside. This woman is like walking by with her dog, and you go, Kurt Dragons follows me. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What the fuck?
So some of your videos are doing pretty okay. You're getting some very respectable numbers.
And
You're
it's
you
just about my ass.
yeah.
I'm just showing off my sculpted ass.
Yeah. The name of your YouTube series is called Butt of the Joke.
Oh no, Pat.
Yeah,
No.
dude. And so what it is it's you
No.
showing people some of the different things you're doing. And butt of the joke because you're kind of funny while you do it. Like your thing is you will sometimes pretend you're farting when you're doing like squats.
Oh, I
That's
just
like
added the sound.
yeah, and that's become a thing where you go, all right, all you butt heads, send in all your your videos of you working on your buns, and people will like tag you and they'll put like you farting sound effects on their own. It's like an inside joke.
Inside my ass. Sounds like.
Yeah, you call your your followers buttheads.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Butt of the Joke is doing pretty okay. But
I'm definitely pulling that clip from Back to the Future.
yeah.
Butt heads. Like I'm you know when he does that, it's like I'm definitely pulling that. That's gotta be in there.
Yeah, that is a recurring thing.
Yeah. Man.
You sell
You're selling me on this.
you sell gym shorts and on the back it says buttheads and it's perfectly designed. It's like the way that the text is formatted on the back of the shorts, which says butt
Yeah.
heads. Each word like it's designed to when your butt is sculpted well enough, the words just kind of drape over those buns perfectly, visible from all sides.
Oh,
So
I don't. Okay.
the reason that you kind of have gone viral with it is you were doing stand-up comedy one night.
Okay.
You were doing a show called the No Pants Dance, and it's a show where you're not allowed to wear pants on stage. You have to wear shorts, uh, or like a skirt or something like that, whatever you want to wear. You cannot wear pants. And so you went up,
Rejecting the norm.
yeah. And so
Okay.
you go up and you were telling some jokes, and you were wearing very tight shorts
Okay.
on the No Pants Dance. And somebody was recording it like from behind. It was like kind of like a theater in the round type of deal. It's a theater in the round at Applebee's Theater.
Applebee's is sponsoring a theater now.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, Applebee's has their own theater in Los Angeles, and they do honestly some surprisingly avant-garde shit considering it's owned by Applebee's.
I mean, hey, let's give them credit. They did have like Dollaritas, you know.
Yeah, and that
They have like been, pretty revolutionary, I'd say, in their own way.
and it is Dollar Rita night every night
Damn.
at
And so
Applebee's
this is a
Theater.
theater, like not a movie theater, but like a theater where
Live
live
theater.
performance is going to occur.
Yeah,
Okay,
live theaters.
great.
And
The
so,
Applebee's theater.
yeah. And so you were performing and someone from behind saw that ass and he was like, "What the fuck?" And so he like did a video of you from behind and he starts singing like BBL Aaron, BBL Aaron because he cannot believe that it's a natural ass. He's like,
Man,
this guy must have a, Brazilian butt lift. And so that song takes off on TikTok and Instagram and all that shit. People do their own different versions of the music video where sometimes they'll have like a full band, sometimes it's like a Motown band. BBL Aaron, do da da, BBL Aaron. Sometimes it's in like there's been a few jazz versions of it. Hey, BBL Aaron, hip cats, BBL Aaron, look at that ass. That's one
oh,
version of it.
gross. God, the way you shook your head. If you if you aren't watching this on YouTube, this is probably like, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
You should go look at the way the Pat sang that song and the way he shook his head back and forth. It was so alarming to
What do you
see.
mean?
You were very into it.
Well, yeah.
You have that ass line in the chamber. You let it fucking rip, man. I got to be honest with you. You let that one rip.
There's a country music version of it
Yeah.
where it's like, baby, I'll Aaron tonight. Baby, I'll Aaron tonight. Go call my baby. Don't say maybe. Baby, I'll Aaron tonight. So the concept of BBL Aaron goes crazy, even though there are people who come to your defense who are like, well, no, that's I subscribe to his thing. Like that's an all natural ass. There's no BBL
I'm
involved
glad
with
the
this.
buttheads have my back.
They do. Oh no, yeah, they absolutely do. They have your back and they have your butt.
Good.
And that's when they defend you. They go hashtag I've got your butt.
All right. Well, this sucks.
So you kind of go viral and people start looking into your stuff and they're like, oh, it's that BBL Aaron guy. Hey, he's actually pretty funny. Let's have him in our festival. And
Okay,
so
great.
you're going to Boston.
Austin.
You fly there, you land. There's like a they actually like sent a cab to get you. There's like a sign attached to the back of the cab that just says Aaron Brooks, care of Beantown Laughter Fest.
Okay. Why didn't they just have a guy like stand there with the thing with my name on there? Why they got to put it on the car?
It's just,
Just,
that's how they do it.
just
So
get I take it off. I remove that from the back of the car.
you take it off, you climb into the back seat, and you guys just kind of take off. And
Ring.
there's the driver, sits there driving, and his appearance is somewhat striking.
Yeah.
So he's wearing like a full on like cloak, kind of like a wizard's cloak, and he's got like one of those, like, when you think of like a Merlin hat,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah. A
wearing
wizard
one of
hat.
those. Yeah, wizard hat. And all over this guy's cloak are like these hand stitched like faces. And you kind of like look at them for like, it's almost like you can't look quite at them, but you look at
Yeah.
them, and like it almost looks like they're like colonial patriots or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, also, I should point out that this guy has the worst New England accent that you've ever heard in your fucking life. Like,
Yeah.
you think of every bad movie or bad like Boston accent that you've ever heard in movies, and you've seen quite a bit over the years,
Yeah.
and they don't even compare to this guy's. It sounds like a parody of just a ugly joke. So he kind of like turns around, like he's not watching the road at all, but like he's driving perfectly. He turns around. He's like, hey there, pal. I'm the Wizard of New England. I'm going to drive you. It's pleased to meet you, kid.
God, this sucks
Oh,
already.
you seem wicked, wicked funny, pal. I understand you're going to the Lobster Fest.
Man, I think I would have headphones in. I would say, yeah, I'm going to the Beantown Laughter Fest. And then I go, oh, excuse me. And I would fake a phone call.
Yep. Before you do, he corrects you. He goes, it's actually the Beantown Comedy Laughter and Lobster Fest.
Oh, I wasn't aware of the lobster. Sorry, I've got a phone call to take. Thank you, though. But that's where I'm going. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
try to disengage pretty quickly with that,
with the
you
Wizard of New
know,
England.
in a kind fashion. I don't want to,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, nothing against that guy. He's doing his job, but,
sure.
I
He's
don't
like,
want to talk.
he's like, don't worry. Oh, I get it. Oh, I understand. Uh, he just like stares at the window, and you kind
Yeah.
of like, you're a little tired, so you kind of like nod off.
I'm not going to fall asleep in this guy's car. I can't fall asleep. I can't do that. I can't fucking, I know I'll be getting to where I'm going soon. I'm not going to fall asleep in this stranger's car.
Well, he's a cab driver. He's a Wizard of New England, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm aware of who he is. That doesn't mean that I'm
But here's the deal.
familiar with him
But no,
enough
you're
to like,
not. But you don't get like a bad vibe from this guy. You know he's gonna
yeah,
get you where you're going. He
I
just,
still just
he's dressed a little strange, and he's barely looked at the road the whole time he was talking to you, but he was able to,
yeah, that's
dart in
scary.
and
And
out.
I feel like sleeping is a time of true vulnerability, and I don't think I want to do that in a Boston cab.
He's holding a can of beans, and he just fucking downs the entire thing
Definitely don't
cold.
want to leave this guy out of my sights
There's a
now.
gigantic steaming hot thing of Dunkin' Donuts coffee in the front with him. And
Oh man.
you look at that steam coming off of that fucking coffee, and for just a second, you know in your heart that hell is real. You kind of nod off. You
I'm not falling asleep in this car.
so you think that, but you were, you're up, pretty late. You were very excited. It took you a really long time it took you like 12 hours to fall asleep, and you only slept for like an hour.
That sucks.
Yeah. So you're pretty tired. And so even though you try your best, you just are like, whatever, you nod off. You dream of the howling void and you wake
Great.
up. And you're sort of in have you ever been to Boston before?
No.
Well, even though you've never been, you know that this is not Boston. Like you are in this like weird country road, you know, driving through the woods and
This
shit.
fucking why I didn't want to fall asleep in his car, Pat, because of some bullshit like this. I'm on a country road.
Yeah. And he kind of looks up and he sees that you're awake and he goes, "Hey there, kid. We're almost there, pal." And he goes,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, they call it the bean, or they call it the Bean Town Laughter and Lobster Fest, but
This guy still going
really,
on with this.
he goes, but really, it's sort of on the outskirts. It's not really in Boston, pal.
That is information I would have had before I left my home. I would have known where I was staying and I would have looked it up already.
Yeah,
And it wouldn't have been on the fucking outskirts. What the
yeah.
fuck is happening?
Normally you would do that, but you were just too excited the night
You keep
before.
chalking it up to this excitement, and I think that's bullshit. I
It
would know
was
where I was going to stay.
it was an excitement that you have rarely felt in your life. It was an excitement that you felt from the tip of your toes to the tip of your dick to the tip of your nose to the top of your goddamn head. It was almost like you had stuck, you know how like you can stick a fork in the socket and it'll like,
Oh, you can,
yeah.
kids.
It's almost like you've stuck your soul in that socket and your
God damn
soul
it,
was
Pat.
being, so that was a level of excitement
Reckless?
a little bit. And so you're pretty tired. And then he's like, well, yeah, I mean, he goes, "See for yourself, kid." And you look at like the flyer. He hands you the flyer of like the comedy, laughter, Beantown, uh, laughter and lobster fest. And you look at it and it says the address. It's like, your hotel is the Gilman, hotel is located, um, right there in the town of Innsmouth. And you're like, "Oh, okay. I guess he is taking me the right way." He's like, "Interesting choice for a comedy fest, pal." He goes, and again, the accent that this guy has, the way that this man speaks is an insult to anyone who calls themselves a gentleman. He's like, the people who live here, they're a little strange, pal." He goes,
Why the fuck am I doing this festival if I don't know anything about it and it's on the outskirts and everybody's weird?
"Because you got the offer kind of at the last second. They had somebody
What the
drop out.
fuck? This sucks.
It was supposed to be Danny Goodwin.
Oh no.
He had to drop at the last second,
Yeah,
because he was given a spot on the Tonight Show. So
yeah. How's
he
he go on
makes
the Tonight Show?
man, he eats shit.
Oh no, Danny. It's gotta be it for him.
They don't even show it. For the first time in
What?
Tonight Show history, the set goes so
No.
badly that they just they just don't show it, and they just tell him like, "Oh, we messed it up. Like, I guess we didn't hit record. Sorry." And he's like, "Oh man, dude, too bad. That was such a great set.
Danny.
See you later,
Pick it up.
bro." Yeah. And so he's like, "Anyway, hope you enjoy your stay, kid."
Ugh.
He pulls
Oh,
up to
thanks. And
it's
yeah,
it's kind of like a charming New England town, but there is like no charm at all. You could tell it used to be charming. But
yeah.
there's like, you get out and you kind of notice that the town of Innsmouth, it's mostly like a lot of like homes that seem to be kind of falling apart or they're outright abandoned. The ones that have sign of life have, their shades drawn. Some of them actually have like wood, covering
Like
it. They've actually,
boards.
yeah, they boarded up their own windows.
This isn't good.
So you walk to the Gilman hotel, and there's this guy behind the front desk or whatever. And he looks up when you come in, and his eyes are just a little farther apart than usual,
What
but they're like substantially larger. So he's like,
the fuck is happening? This man's eyes.
so he goes, "Oh, you must be Mr. Brooks, Aaron Brooks,
Yeah.
He goes, "The comedian. Hmm. We don't have a lot of comedians here in Innsmouth." He goes, "All
What's the
right,
deal with
well."
this also being a lobster festival? Is it primarily a lobster festival or is this a laughter festival?
So he goes on to tell you that it is a comedy festival. Technically, they call it a comedy festival to get a tax break, basically a comedy festival tax break. But it's mostly Lobster Fest, yeah. And so they have the best lobster that anyone has ever tasted. It all comes out
Okay,
of Innsmouth, and it's
this is
so
gonna rule.
there are some, there's a few shows and stuff. Like it's definitely like a real festival, but it's mostly, a way for, the locals to just enjoy some fucking New England lobster.
Chow down on some lob.
So he looks at you and he goes, "I hope you're ready to chow down on some lob, Mr. Brooks." He goes, "Here's your key." He gives it to you. Like there's definitely a sense of like like as you walk away, you don't turn around, but he is staring at you.
Oh, miss those eyes. Those big eyes.
You go upstairs, room 666.
Why?
You do
Why is there room 666 at this cozy New England bungalow?
the thing that's weird is that even though you're on the sixth floor in room 666, there's clearly no one else in this hotel. Like it's just you.
Jesus Christ.
So you go up, you drop off your stuff, and what do you do? Like your first show doesn't start until tomorrow.
I'll probably take a nap.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm that tired, I jack off and then I nap.
sure. So you jack
The old
off.
jack nap.
So you pull what you call a classic jackknap, and you dream in your dream. It's just like you just dream of a uh, a black sea and like these shadows kind of coming out of the sea towards you. And as like they come into the light of the moon, you realize it's a bunch of lobsters, and the lobsters come up to you and they like walk up onto your plate, and you just like eat them off the plate raw. You wake up from the dream and your stomach is rumbling. What do you
Yeah,
do?
I'm ready to crush some lobsters. Chow down on some lob.
So you go down to the town square, and there's some people there. They seem to be a lot of them seem to be a little bit older. And you notice several people whose eyes are just a little bit too far and eyes a little too big. And you're chowing down on some lob, and I will be honest with you, Aaron, it is the best lobster that you've ever had in your fucking life.
Cool.
It barely even needs any butter, though you slather it all the same.
Okay.
It's almost like it's like their flesh tastes like butter naturally. And you're like, how the hell do they get lobster this good here?
Yeah.
And it's like
It's just part of the region.
shitty dying town. Like what the hell's going on? Near abandoned.
Yeah.
And you sit down and you're eating, and you kind of like look up, and across the table from you is like this older guy drinking whiskey. He's like, "How are you?" He goes, "My name is Zadok Allen." He goes, "Yep, I've lived here my whole life."
I didn't ask.
He goes, "Kind of a strange town, got to be honest with you." He takes a huge bite of lobster tail, swallows it without even chewing. He's like, "Yep, ever since the Marsh family started going out to Devil Reef, yep, the town's been doing pretty okay." And he goes, "But
Devil Reef.
yeah," he takes a big shot of whiskey. He goes, "Yeah, but then after they found out what old Obed Marsh was up to, the townspeople imprisoned him." And he goes, "And then the town was near destroyed by." He kind of looks around and he goes, "Oh, I can't tell you anymore."
What the fuck, man? Number one, I didn't ask for anything. I didn't ask for any of this information. And then you get to the best part and you're gonna fucking stop?
He goes, he goes, "Their eyes, Aaron. Their
Yeah,
eyes."
what's the deal? What's the deal with these people?
So
It's a significant facial feature that is out of the norm, and there are several people there who have it. Is
so
this like a family thing?
he goes on to tell you that basically the town of Innsmouth, they made some sort of, the details are kind of vague, but they made some kind of deal with these ocean creatures called the deep ones, and like they worship them, and some of them actually intermarry with them and stuff. And he goes, "Yeah, it's all over there in the esoteric order of Dagon." He
What the
goes,
fuck, Pat?
"But I'll tell you what, all of that weird creepiness, it's all worth it for the lobster." And he takes the biggest bite that you've ever seen a human being take. You swear his jaw unhinges for just a sec.
Jesus. Lobster's not such a huge part of my life that I would feel good about this.
Yeah.
And now I gotta do comedy to these people?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Man, they're not gonna like me.
And he goes, "Yeah, he goes, just don't make fun of the town. They really don't like outsiders here."
How do you do a show in this town without making fun of it? It's falling into the sea. It's falling into the fucking sea.
Yeah, he just goes, "Okay, I'm just saying." He
Fine.
finishes the rest of the whiskey. He's like, "See you tomorrow, Aaron." Walks away.
Remember giving that guy my name.
So
Definitely didn't.
you walk back to the hotel through the empty streets, and you see that there's like lights on in some of the houses, even though they're boarded up and stuff. You walk past a grocery store, and from inside you hear a guy go, "Psst, hey."
Do not look. I
He
just
goes,
keep fucking walking. I don't want to deal with anybody. This place freaks me out, and I just want to go back to my room
he goes, "Aaron."
until it's showtime.
He goes, "Aaron, psst, hey."
Man, I don't want to deal with this.
What do
I
you
don't want
do?
to interact with. I probably just keep walking. I act
So
like I don't hear him.
yeah. So you keep walking, get back to the Gilman Hotel, go upstairs, crawl into bed, dream of a howling void.
Great.
Suddenly you kind of like in the middle of the night, you kind of hear like a sound, and you go like, "Huh?" And like suddenly you feel like really like almost like you've like super woozy, like you've been drugged or something.
What the fuck?
And you
What the
kind of like
fuck,
open
Pat?
your eyes and you're tied to like a stake, and you're
What?
surrounded by a bunch of like, you know, wood, firewood, and like
What the fuck?
lobster shells and stuff like that.
Are you
And
fucking kidding me?
in front of you is the or the town people. Some of them have faces that look like frogs. Some of them are like clearly like mutated even further. Some of them are just like normal people, and they're like, they have like a flint or whatever they're striking, and then one of the guys looks up at you and he goes, "We really don't like outsiders in this town, Aaron.
Why the
This is,"
fuck did you invite me here?
and they go, "This is for Dagon." And then he finally lights it and it just like goes up
What the
instantly.
fuck? Who cares? It should have been
You,
Danny Goodwin.
you
It should
see
have been
the
Danny Goodwin, not
you see
me.
the lobster shells just like melt almost instantly as the town people dance around the bonfire chanting for their
Great.
like deep one god. And the fire actually takes like several minutes to reach you. So you just kind of like are there tied to the stake, your hands up, reminiscent of Christ himself, tied to the fucking boards. And you eventually burn to death. It takes about 25 minutes for you to fully die
Jesus Christ.
because the fire is hot, but it's not so
Yeah.
hot that it kills you right away. It's like
Are you fucking kidding me?
medium hot fire. So it
This
takes a
sucks. This fucking sucks.
and you die as a sacrifice to Dagon. There never was a comedy festival.
Great.
You didn't do any research into it. You just took the first
Yeah,
offer.
I guess. I guess that's what I did. What the fuck?
Welcome to Lovecraft Volume 5.